It is day 14 of the 31 days of Halloween. We are almost to the halfway point, and it's Holtz Tuesday, so let's see what we're creating today. Hi, this is Kelly from Kelly's Creative Dream Studios, and do you remember this? This was what we created in Timmy's Christmas class, and so I thought that's what we would play with today, except in Halloween. Now I started with cutting out my pockets. The tag that we got for the class came pre-cut, but we also got this limited edition rounded slots and panel die that they had used for this, and this was specific to the class. So I got this, and I cut one out in black. Now this is the back of one of Tim's, you know what I'm trying to say, packaging. There we go. This is part of the packaging, and we're going to be using it, and we're going this way today. I'm putting the dark up to the top, and then this is going to go here. Now, what else do I have? First off, I went through, what book is this? Halloween 2023 sticker book. And I pulled out one of the frames, and I mounted, because it's a sticker, it needed mounted to something, so I put it on black cardstock. So that's one of the items we're going to play with. And that's all I pulled from this. I was going to use Mr. Bones here, but I found something else to use. Excuse me. And that was in my Halloween ephemera pack from Tim Holtz, and it had a Mr. Bones. Now we may have to trim him down and get rid of the bottle, we'll see, but I also had this skeleton and I had the black cat. So we had things from that. Then I cut from the 8x8 seasonal paper pad. Remember, I had last Tuesday I showed you where I had pulled out all the papers. So I took those and found what I needed, and I cut all of the cut-aparts, cut them down, and then I've selected some to use in this. Now, trying not to mess anything up here or lose anything on the floor, because I don't have time for a cleanup project today. This is Tuesday the 7th as I'm recording this. I also cut the big 31 out of this pad from that kit. And we had originally planned to use Wicked, and then I changed my mind, so it needs to go back in with the collage strips. And I thought I'd see if there's something else we could use in the collage strips. That might be a good one, using the poison. I seem to have gone to a skeleton, bonesy kind of thing. And some of these are pretty tall, so I'm just flipping through these really quick. I hadn't looked at this one yet, but now seemed like the good time to do that. Might use the bat. I'll hold on to that one. Some of those kids look pretty creepy, I'm telling you. And then we've got just a couple more sheets here to flip through. I don't think there's really much on here unless we use a laboratory. Maybe we'll do that one. So I'm going to trim that one apart. Now I have gone through and I've used the Distress black soot on all of them except for these new ones that I'm cutting out. So I will have to run grab it really quick. And then we're going to get started stuffing pockets. I had it over at the computer table. I was watching my doll Threads with a Z, I believe it is, and he was making vintage inspired Halloween decorations for his Halloween tree. And I'm going to link his channel down below, because there are things that we can use. And then I'm going to go ahead and ink this one. And then we're done. Oh, and I said I was thinking about using poison, so let's do that one. Right there. Okay, that's going to be the end of those. Now the trick with these staggered pockets is you really want to stuff them full. Don't be afraid that you're getting too much in them. You really want them to be full. So I'm going to start by taking our corners off. I saved that to do with you. I'm going to line up my corner. I've got about 2 hours to see how many more of these videos I can get done up. So I'm working on it. Okay, so there's that one. Oh yes, and I pulled this from the chipboard topography sentiments to use that one as well. Okay, now to determine where we want to put this, I'm going to hold off on the, I couldn't decide whether I wanted to use black or I wanted to do orange on here. And if I do the orange, I'm going to do the black seam binding. If I do the black, I'm going to do this seam binding. But I'm not sure I really like that orange with that. And the orange seam binding is too bright. So I think I'm going to go with the orange dot. And we're going to get it glued into place really quick, so it can be drying. And I'm going to be out of frame for a minute when I glue this in, because I'm using the ruler at the bottom of my sticky mat to try and do a better job of centering up my dots. There we go. So that's done. Now we're going to let that sit for a minute and get stickied. And then we're going to glue. Now remember, we're just gluing the bottom and the sides of our pocket, because if we glue everything else, we're not going to be able to put stuff in the pocket. So we're just going to glue the bottom and up the sides to put this in place. And I'm not going all the way down to the bottom. I'm going to go right about there. And we're going to put that into place. And I had a baby wipe here a minute ago, so we can do this just like that. Okay, so now we have this. So now we have our top, we have our things. And we need the tall stuff up in the top. But before I get stuff in my way, let's go ahead and take care of, I keep losing my pick here. Let's get our hole punched while we don't have stuff in the way. Okay, I did do that one a little off center, but that's okay. It'll work. And I'm going to go ahead and clean my spot out so it's ready for next time. And there's that. Okay, now, so we know where we're going with this. I'm going to go ahead and put this in next so that I'm not in my own way, which, you know, is going to happen if I'm not careful. Now, I should have taken and pressed this out first, but I'm not going to worry about that right now. I can always come back and do that later. And I thought I had, there we go. Let's bring in some of this orange twine to tie with. Actually, I don't think so, actually. I think I want to use a black so that it blends in on this one. And I have black right here. This was the black from Stampin' Up. So we've got that. Now I could, if I could get to it, I'd get my straightener out and I would straighten this ribbon. But I'm not going to dig that out today. Maybe I'll get that dug out for later half of the month and have it up here where I can get to it. See, I went a little crazy on that. And then where's our third fingers here, which will hold that in place. Yeah, that's going to have to be straightened out because it's going to drive me crazy, but not today. Not today. I may try and get it straightened out before I have to put this picture on Instagram, though. We'll see. Okay, and then we're a little overboard on the twine, but that's okay. And I'm going to save this piece. It's almost big enough to do a loop. And we'll take those off. And I am going to come back and snip these off. And then we'll worry about straightening them later. But now those things are done, and my stuff that I put in the pockets won't be in my way. Okay, and now I'm going to build from the top, or from the bottom up. And one of the things I'm using is, in this chat sticker book, I am going to use this lace across the bottom. I don't think I'm going to need all of it. And I think I'm going to go this way with it because I want the scallop. So I'm going to do that. And then I can come back with my sticky scissors and snip that off. Works better if I come from the back and see where my edges is at. And then I've got this little piece I can put on something else later. Okay, so that takes care of that sticker book out of my way. Okay, so now we can start building up. Now I want to see if I can find my 31 that I cut out. Here it is. It's almost too big. Almost too big, but it's the smallest 31 that I had. I think I'm going to leave it. I think I'm going to leave it, but I'm going to put it up on dimensionals so that it still lets the lace peek through a little better. And I know I am running out of time already. We're at 12 minutes. But I have more time with this one because I'm going to upload it at the hotel. So we're good. So I'm going to go ahead and put this one up. And remember that this is day 14. So I'm going to go ahead and peel these off. I love doing these stuffed tags. They were so much fun. I said I may have to do more of them. Okay, and I'm going to put it at an angle. Just like that. Okay. And then we can start building up. Now I found this that I thought was kind of cool. And I'm going to glue it. Nope, not going to glue anything in yet. Let's put our Mr. Bones in here first. And he's going to go right up here in the top. And you have to kind of work this a little bit till you get everything going where you want it. And sometimes a bone folder works great for this. If you can come back in with your bone folder and kind of set that stuff and get it to buckle just a little bit, this becomes much easier. Okay? But everything needs to go down through the slides. Okay? Now, Mr. Bones, I wanted him to go here, but I think he's going to be a little big. But we're going to see what we can do. Okay? Because I want him to go right down there in that spot. I like that, and he just fits. Okay, so now we have, see, I wanted the collectors of curiosities to go across here. And I can do it right there. Because that's kind of where I was headed with this whole theme. And you know what? Yeah, I am going to leave the thickness. I am going to leave, nope, I'm going to peel it off. Let's take a couple of layers and thin that chipboard down, just a little bit. So we can do that by peeling back the layers. And then it's not quite so bulky in your project. Then we can come through and we'll have a little bit of dimension, but it's not crazy stupid out of the realm of everything. And I'm going to have more of this glue on my fingers than anything else, but you know what? That's typical of me. Then I'm going to lift this up because I want that to sit right there. There we go. And now it's a matter of just stuffing stuff in place. So I have, I don't know if we'll use poison or those two, But I have these that are more like, they were like newspaper ads. And I can tuck one of those in there. Tuck one of those down here behind Mr. Bones. He's peeking over Mr. Bones' shoulder. And then we have these. These are from the colorized. And I'm going to stick one up there. And the Halloween noisemakers, let's put it up here. I really want to tuck this cat in somewhere. Let's tuck him in right there. Nope, I don't want him on the high part. Let's put him down here on the lower part. Just like that. And then we can set him like that at an angle so he's peeking out from the other side of Mr. Bones. Then we can come in with, I don't think we'll need that, Mr. Bones. I think these are going to be too big unless I use this one. Let's use that one behind Mr. Bones, and let's put him over here on this side and bring this one in like that. And then we need I think the laboratory here would be cool behind that bottle. And we're going to angle it so that it kind of goes like that. And I had her, I wanted to use her. So let's put her in this middle one. Whoops, I think I just squished the cat. I think I just squished the cat. Maybe we won't use the cat. Maybe that'll help. Let's not use the cat. Unless we want to use this cat. Those are going to be too big, but we can stick the pumpkin in here. And I just want to make sure that I'm using all of my available slots here. This one I had thought about putting up across here, but I don't think it's going to work. And this is what it's all about, getting out your stuff and playing with everything. Okay, and I'm not sure I like that one up there. I think I want to put this one up here and then put this one on this side. And then we need to pull Mr. Bones up a little bit. And we need something over here. Okay. I think I got glue there where Mr. Bones glues in. So I don't think that pumpkin's going to work. I think I glued Mr. Bones shut. I did. I glued Mr. Bones shut. But that pumpkin really doesn't fit there anyway. I just feel like I need something else in front of Mr. Bones. Let's put the Halloween noisemakers in here. Oh, here's what we need to do. Let's go with a long one. I cannot believe I glued Mr. Bones in. That just boggles my mind. But it is what it is. He's glued in there to stay. But we have bare spot over here. So let's come in here and tuck this one right there. And I don't know if laboratory really works. Wicked was from our other one. And she doesn't have to go all the way down. You don't have to shove them down in the pocket as far as you can go. I like that. So there is our Tag Tuesday for day 14 of our 31 days of Halloween. Get out your stuff and play. Oh, you know what? No, because then our lace doesn't show as well. So get out your stuff and play. And if you make something, post it to Instagram. Make sure you're following me, Kelly's Creative Dreams. And so I can tag me so I can take a look. In the meantime, please remember to like, to share, subscribe, and spooky Creative blessings.